You never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And then
freak off. Everybody says, get out of the house.
She suffered in a relationship with Sean Combs. Cassie would never have gone through what she's gone through.
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met.
The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York just revealed which of Hollywood's biggest names were involved in illegal activities with Sean Diddy Combs, and you are not going to believe just which people were named.
The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB.
Arrest warrants are about to be issued for some of the biggest producers, actors, artists, and even athletes. This is not just a conspiracy theory. This is an entire ring of predators who were involved in one of the biggest scandals the world has ever seen.
Another instance, another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual, minor, was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her. Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore.
Join as we delve deeper into the 15 celebrities who tried to warn us against Diddy, starting off with 50 Cent. 50 Cent and Diddy first met each other in the early 2000s, when Diddy was making waves as a producer with Jay-Z, thanks to their No Way Out album. 50 met Diddy, and since day one, he realized that something was off. Now, in a recent interview with Entertainment Tonight, 50 has mentioned how he has been saying for the last 10 years that something was up with Diddy, but no one cared.
That's 50 Cent on the Enthusiast podcast earlier this month, defending why he's always been outspoken about longtime rival Sean Diddy Combs. Now, the rapper's doubling down on his feelings in a new interview with People.
I'm not panicking, they are.
Following Diddy's arrest for allegations of abuse, which he has vehemently denied, and stories of wild parties coming to light, 50 tells the outlet, "It seems like I'm doing some extremely outrageous things, but I haven't. It's really me just saying what I've been saying for 10 years.
They don't want me to throw the parties no more, but we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life."
50 adding, "I'm like, yo, it's just my perspective because I stayed away from that stuff the entire time because this is not my style."
50 Cent has always been outspoken about Diddy being gay and how Diddy had tried to make multiple unwanted sexual advances towards him. In a now famous interview with The Breakfast Club, 50 Cent talked about how Diddy had always been fruity and even tried to take him out on dates.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
That's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff that when people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like, he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of it. No, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
That's why I don't be going to them puffy parties. They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. What you talking about? Look, if you're into that, I'm fine with it. To get your own. I'm just saying this ain't my mother down the party. You know, like, it's uncomfortable. I think I belong in the girls' bathroom. Like that is going on.
According to 50 Cent, Diddy has been involved in more than just sexual assault. According to 50, Diddy is actually the one who's responsible for the murder of Biggie and Tupac in 1996 and 1997. This claim has actually been confirmed by Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal, too.
Big caught a bullet from somebody else, and that happens to us all the time. They caught a bullet that was for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened to Big.
Could more murders and assaults have been prevented if 50 was taken seriously and Diddy was stopped?
They still had two girls in the room. But people want to make up a lot of bullshit and say what they want to say and flip it the way they want to flip it. I tell it like it is. But you got these guys, you got these people out here, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, all this shit is for entertainment, man. Some people want the truth, some people speak the truth. Some people don't even know the fucking truth, it has smacked them dead in the face, bro. But I tell you one thing, it's from my mouth to God's ear. And all these clowns can say whatever they want to say.
Perhaps the closest source we have to Diddy, and the one with the most inside stories to tell, is Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard. Gene Deal was Diddy's for almost a decade during the 90s, and he saw the peak of Diddy's career. Now, Gene is turning back the curtains to what went on behind the scenes. For the last few years, Gene Deal has been extremely vocal about alleged illegal activities that Diddy partook in, but only now is everyone taking things seriously. According to Gene Deal, this is because everyone knew that if Diddy was caught, they would get arrested too.
They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America liked that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies. They're not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them, and they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here, we got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician. But they didn't think they was being watched. And Brother Love was watching.
Gene Deal said that some of the biggest names in Hollywood and some of our favorite celebrities are all involved with Diddy, but they're being blackmailed to not testify against Diddy. Only one celebrity was brave enough to come out against Diddy, and even she faced threats on live TV. This was no one other than Wendy Williams. After exposing Diddy for his crimes, Wendy Williams ended up getting fired.
You know, what's worse? You know, hip-hop wearing skirts or hip-hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, you know, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sexuality. So I hear what Jamar is saying, but we come from a very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career, and it's all coming full circle now. So,
do you think now with people like Frank Ocean coming out of the closet, even though he's not exactly a rapper, but he definitely overlaps into the rap community? Mm-hmm. Do you think that we're gonna have a time where it's cool to be a gay rapper?
I don't know.
Allegedly, Diddy even threatened to accuse Wendy Williams' son on live TV. Just look at how Wendy reacted when Diddy brought up the fact that he likes her son and met him. You can clearly see that Wendy was scared and started stuttering.
As the mother of a now 16-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Who I met backstage,
He did?
He's a great young man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. You represent a lot.
In an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail, Wendy Williams reacted to the recent footage of Diddy beating Cassie in a hotel and said, "What is really weird is that I have been told by so many people, 'Wendy, you called it,' including some people from my family who have said the same."
Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground.
They claim Combs had been holding a freak-off in his hotel room with the commercial sex worker, and that Cassie had been trying to escape.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now.
Diddy apologized only after CNN broadcast the shocking confrontation worldwide.
What you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say when you put your girl on the snap.
Another extremely close source that has spoken at length about what Diddy did is someone that knew him professionally and knew him from an angle that no other person can claim to know him. This was Jaguar Wright, ex-backup dancer for Jay-Z, a man that Diddy claims is his closest friend.
There's only one person. Go on. And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean. Okay. Yeah. Nobody else can call me Sean. He's the only person who Sean approved. There's not a single person that outside of family. That should be outside of my mother. Okay. Just should be calling me. Yeah.
According to Jaguar Wright, Diddy has long been involved in sex trafficking and sexual abuse. Allegedly, Diddy never worked alone, and it was people around him that encouraged his behavior and helped him. She even named Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z, and Beyonce as accomplices, and talked about how they were all involved in criminal activities with Diddy, but due to his connections, never got caught.
All Jennifer Lopez had to do was marry a white boy, Oscar winner for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot at that club. For all we know, that bullet came from the gun that was in her hand. And not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman. Not once has she donated to her family or for her medical bills that she's still paying, or say something in her defense to stop Puffy from gaslighting her and trying to put hits out on her because he was afraid that maybe one day they would open the case and she still has the bullet fragments in her face. Like J-Lo has said nothing. Nothing. You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was going to take you out of the Diddy downfall? But it saved her the first time though, didn't it? Because as soon as that club was over and as soon as they finished interrogating her, when she sat there and cried like a baby, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. Benny Medina put her with that drunk white boy until she ran him off. Like, there are people sitting here screaming out at the toll that the atrocities that Sean Combs has done to their lives, and you're trying to avoid your part in the story or the fact that you never spoke up. You know, you want to tell people on the low and put it out there that the movie was about you getting away from Puffy, but you didn't think about the trail of girls that you left behind. What happens to Cassie if J-Lo had said something to Diddler back then? Would Cassie have ever been a victim? Answer me that. Because that situation happened in the late 90s. That situation happened before Aaliyah passed away, and Aaliyah passed away in 2001. He didn't get with Cassie until 2009, 15 years after he was with Jennifer. And she had to come forward about the abuse that she suffered in a relationship with Sean Combs. Cassie would never have gone through what she's gone through. J-Lo being a stand bitch is Cassie not getting punted in a fucking hallway.
Jaguar Wright is part of a group of celebrities that have started claiming that Diddy's arrest is actually a cover-up, and in reality, there might be many more victims.
There's no vindication for me because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
cruelty-free artistry.
Right, there's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music, and that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to bid for all of its precious jewels. We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous, and everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job.
Joe Rogan and comedian Andrew Schultz have also talked about this in a recent interview.
I mean, everybody hung with Diddy. That's the other tricky thing. Like, Diddy hung out with everybody. And I've spoken to a bunch of people who are like, yo, great dude, like, always there for you, never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And
then
freak off.
Everybody says, get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins start eating after midnight. Everybody tells the stories like, I saw her go upstairs, and these dudes are like right on the couch.
Yeah.
And then I go in this room, and these guys are and it's like.
And pros. Like, apparently he was getting male gigolos to girls.
Fuck girls.
Yeah, that was one of the rumors, like the
Male
freak off. So he would
gigolos.
hire the professional to have sex with the girls, and I think he would watch allegedly. That's what was alleged, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and that's the other thing. Like, I wonder, like, is that just a power thing?
It's a Caligula thing.
What does that mean?
Caligula, like the emperor. Did you ever see that movie, Caligula?
No.
It's about just Roman empires being completely out of control. Caligula is like almost like porn, and it was a movie made, I want to say in the 70s. It's a crazy movie. But it's just detailing extreme excess where you can never fill the hole.
But what is the hole you need to fill? Like, I'm trying to find, like, what's the
just
catalyst?
chaos. What year was this? 79. Yeah. That's Malcolm McDowell, right? Yeah. Yeah, the dude from Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah.
It's a crazy movie, man.
But
And it's still mild in comparison to what Absolute have. Absolute power corrupts. Caligula.
Okay, so then there's the question. It's like, can you take a completely normal person, give them power, and then they become that? Or does it take a power-hungry person that has this void that needs to be filled, and then when they are given that power, you see the worst version of them?
Ask your CIA boy. I bet he's got the answers. I bet he knows the exact formula.
To corrupting somebody or to...
What happens? Like, what happens to these people?
Judge Joe Brown, a Tennessee criminal court judge and a former arbiter of the reality court, Show Judge Joe Brown, has also supported these claims.
How you feel about the situation that Diddy in? Let's say this. Something else is going on. They didn't raid, they searched with a warrant his premises on the West Coast, right? They searched his premises on the East Coast in Florida, right? On the same property that the premises was located that they searched in Florida, he had a second mansion. They didn't touch that one. Why not? And when they walk out of there, they got a small trash bag and they have a medium-sized cardboard box. What was it they seized that would fit into those items? I have a sneaking suspicion from my background in criminal defense that what they seized was some evidence that was very incriminating to other people. Now, after they seized the evidence, they had no probable cause to arrest him on any crime. He hasn't been indicted. They talked to him at an airport before he got on a private jet to fly to an island that has no extradition agreement with the United States. Have you heard anybody trying to prosecute him? Not at all. So what did they do? See, the feds are interesting. Who served the search warrant? Homeland Security. Now, what the hell do they have to do with that? That's a FBI mandate.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. As more allegations surface and legal actions unfold, it seems the truth about Diddy and those connected to him is finally coming to light. With Hollywood's darkest secrets unraveling, the question remains: who will speak out next, and how deep does this scandal truly go?